This is News 3 Now at 6.
A team of experts at UW-Madison is tracking the spread of coronavirus, finding the origin of cases here in Wisconsin. Our Gabriella Becerra joins us live to explain how this information will help scientists slow the spread. Gabby?
Eric, research shows that the coronavirus was probably introduced here in Dane County by travelers from Europe, whereas just under 2 hours away in Milwaukee, those cases trace back to Asia. Scientists are saying that information on how the coronavirus has spread could also help slow the spread.
If we can identify how many there are and where the virus is spreading and how it's getting around, then hopefully that'll help us understand how best to stop it.
Using tests from infected patients, scientists at University of Wisconsin-Madison are tracking the virus's genetic sequence, helping figure out where the virus was introduced from.
So what it allows us and other scientists to do is kind of place the Wisconsin outbreaks in a global context.
Studies show here in Madison, the outbreak is similar to cases seen in Europe.
People probably traveled to Europe and then became infected over there and came back here. In some cases, maybe they passed the infection on. In other cases, they didn't. We can see some evidence for that in the sequences also.
Dr. Thomas Friedrich says they're using the sequences to watch how the coronavirus mutates from person to person as it spreads, which he says isn't as scary as it sounds.
These things really are for us are genetic signatures of viruses that are a little bit different from each other. They're like a typo in the instructions for how to make new viruses.
But Friedrich says this will help answer questions about how to slow the spread.
This is essentially backward looking. You know, what we're able to do is kind of reconstruct how we got to be in the state we're in. And that can allow us to do some forecasting about what happens in the future, but that can be kind of difficult.
The first reported case in Dane County was a traveler who likely contracted the virus while traveling in China. Friedrich says that sequence of the coronavirus was unique, meaning that it likely did not infect any others.
Gabriella Becerra reporting live tonight. Gabby, thank you. Now, since March 17th, we've been reporting positive coronavirus cases across the state. More than 7,300 people have tested positive. 327 have died. Today, Wisconsin saw its biggest single-day increase in new cases. It is the second day we've seen a spike, and today there are 460 new confirmed cases on top of the 330 case increase yesterday. Also the second day in a row that positive cases have increased as a percentage of overall tests processed. 13% of people tested today were positive. Yesterday it was 11%. The governor's Badger bounce back plan requires those percentages to be on a downward trend for a 14-day period in order to reopen the state. Wisconsin Supreme Court has decided to take up a lawsuit over Governor Evers' Safer at Home extension through May 26th. The state legislature filed that lawsuit last week, asking the court to block the extension, claiming it went beyond the power of the executive branch. A hearing is scheduled to take place Tuesday, 10 a.m. via video conference. Both sides will have 45 minutes to make their arguments. Governor Evers announcing state leaders are working to create community testing events. The state's Emergency Operations Center, Department of Health Services, Emergency Management, and the National Guard all working together. According to a press release, those events will be in places with a known lack of access to testing or where additional testing is needed because of high rates of COVID-19. Victims of sexual assault may be struggling during this time. Our Amy Reed joins us now to explain what resources there are to help. Amy?
We just wrapped up Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and it might have been a tough month for those recovering from sexual assault and following safer at home orders. With the state ordered to stay home as much as possible, the executive director of the Rape Crisis Center said survivors of sexual assault may be dealing with increased anxiety and may be stuck in a situation that makes things worse for them. She said calls to the center have been up since the order started.
It's not safer at home for victims of sexual assault. People are isolated. They are sometimes trapped at home with the perpetrator, sibling, father, uncle, mother, or they are not supported by their family, and they were even sexually assaulted by somebody else, but the family is not being supportive.
Another reason for the increase of calls, at least today, former Vice President and presumptive Democratic nominee Joe Biden was on TV talking about allegations of sexual assault against him. Thornley Parisi said anytime we see a high-profile discussion like that, like with Harvey Weinstein or Justice Brett Kavanaugh, it can be triggering. The Rape Crisis Center has kept all of their services going on at this time. They've just been adapted, so don't hesitate to reach out if you need them. We'll put their information on our website, channel3000.com.
Amy Reed reporting live. Amy, thank you. We are looking ahead to a beautiful weekend. Let's check your first warn forecast. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary.
Well, temperatures will be in the low 70s, and we'll see a fair amount of sunshine. More sunshine on Sunday than tomorrow, but still should be dry both days. Visible cloud track shows a band of clouds coming through late morning into the early afternoon hours, but you can see the skies have been clearing across southwestern Wisconsin. There was a band of showers. Some of that wasn't even reaching the ground, and you can see those showers really dissipated as they headed eastward toward Milwaukee. So there might be a slight chance of a shower east of Madison at some point in the next couple of hours. Otherwise, it probably will stay dry overnight. Temperatures remain nearly steady, mid-60s here in Madison, Janesville 66, but to the west where there has been more sunshine, temperatures have reached the lower 70s. But tomorrow morning will only drop into the middle 50s, and for tomorrow, look for variably cloudy skies with a high temperature of 71. Be about the same with sunny skies on Sunday, but cooler and more showery weather is on the way for next week. I'll have more details on weather in a few minutes.
All right, Gary, thank you. It sounds like a good weekend for a hike. Dozens of state parks and forests back open now with some special guidelines to make sure people follow those social distancing rules. Some things to keep in mind. All restrooms will be closed. There will be capacity limitations, and you will need an annual state park sticker, but they will not be sold when you get there. Have to purchase those online or over the phone. Go to dnr.wi.gov for live updates on capacity limits. If you're in the mood for some spring cleaning this weekend, Goodwill stores in our area are now accepting non-contact donations. Goodwill South Central Wisconsin started this service just yesterday. Now you're asked to pull up to the donation center, the doors, and pop up your truck. Then an employee will take your items inside. Another option is just leave your items in outdoor containers. The donation drop-off times at all locations will be 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. Metcalf's warning other businesses, be careful what medical supplies you buy. They might not be legitimate. Amanda Quintana is here with a lesson the owner says was learned. Amanda?
Yes, Tim Metcalf says about 6 weeks ago, he started looking for thermometers on Amazon and picked one he thought seemed legitimate. He wanted to be prepared if the store was required to check employees' temperatures. But when he got it, he was a little skeptical about the way it looked, saying the icons didn't look right, and it didn't work very well either.
And they were all over the board. You would be 97.5, and then you'd be 95.2, and then 93 and 97. So we kind of determined that this, we believe, is counterfeit.
He says those thermometers were from China now. He has one from a local supplier, and although it was more expensive, he says it's been certified and it does work. The BBB says they've been seeing a lot of reports of phony websites and businesses selling in-demand items like hand sanitizer, face masks, and thermometers that are fake. They suggest consumers do their research. Metcalf says he should have known based on the difference in the price that the original thermometer that was cheaper probably wasn't the right choice.
Amanda, thank you. New at 6, a local retail store on Monroe Street celebrating a big milestone today, a bit differently than they normally would have. Today is Orange Tree Imports' 45th anniversary celebration. A 1969 Camaro led a parade in front of the shop with employees following behind in their cars. Store's been closed since March 18th. Carol Orange Schrader really wanted to find a way to celebrate with staff. We asked what reaching 45 years in business meant.
It means another 5 years and we'll hit 50.
Which is pretty amazing for a retail store, especially a mom and pop. So we're pretty pleased that we've hit this landmark.
When Orange organized the parade as a surprise for her husband, Dean, he said it was a big surprise. He had no idea what was going on. Starting today, Orange Tree Imports is offering curbside pickup. Local alternative bands are coming together to support Dane County residents in need of financial and food assistance. The Madison groups dropped a new digital album today. Madison Relief Compilation Volume 1 includes 19 tracks from garage rock, post-punk, folk pop, and experimental genres. All money from sales will go to the Dane County Community Defense Fund run through the Social Justice Center on Willie Street. You can find details at madisonmagazine.com. Next at 6, a UW health psychologist shares tips on coping with the stress of the pandemic. And a group is raising money to buy an essential product that might not be top of mind right now. That story and more just ahead. Stay with us.
Americans have been cutting the lawn for hundreds of years, but with TurfBot, the future of mowing is now. Our quiet, all-electric robotic mowers work around the clock to keep your lawn trimmed 24/7. That means less time spent mowing and more time spent enjoying. Equipped with LED headlights, auto-stop sensors, and anti-theft GPS devices, our mowers run safely with no supervision. Come home to a freshly mowed lawn every day for as little as $30 a week. Call today and get free installation when you sign up. TurfBot, on the cutting edge.
To our Pick and Save associates, for the long hours and late nights, for the miles traveled and the shelves restocked, for making a difference in our customers' lives, for doing so much more than your job. Everyone at the Kroger family of brands and our customers say thank you. In a time when daily life feels a bit uncertain, your hard work is keeping America fed. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
At Govan Cars, your safety is our #1 priority. We are taking necessary precautions to clean and sanitize all of our vehicles and facilities. With prices being at an all-time low, we are able to sell these cars well below market value. So hurry in today and take advantage of these once-in-a-lifetime low prices. Call to schedule an appointment and ask for Crystal the Pistol Govan. Go to Govan Cars East or West.
You gotta go to Govan, GovanCars.com.
U.S. Cellular.
Yeah. New customer. What's the deal?
Unlimited data, just $30 a month.
But what's the deal with the signal? It works everywhere. It's crazy.
You're going into signal shock. Just breathe with me. Unlimited data. Strong signal.
Strong signal.
All for $30 a month.
U.S. Cellular.
And now when you switch, you can also get $700 off the latest phones with no trade-in required. Now that's fair. U.S. Cellular. Choose fair.
The Experimental Aircraft Association has canceled its annual fly-in convention because of coronavirus. The Air Venture draws hundreds of thousands of people from all over the globe to Whitman Regional Airport there in Oshkosh. It was planned for July 20th to the 26th. EAA CEO Jack Pelton says due to Wisconsin's safer-at-home order, organizers cannot go to the grounds right now to start preparation. That was supposed to start today. We're all under a little psychological stress because of this pandemic and the ongoing uncertainty of what normal life might look like when it's all over. Just adds to the anxiety. Behavioral health experts at UW Health are encouraging everyone to engage in active coping strategies to help combat stress.
We know research shows that active coping strategies are really optimal when we're faced with this kind of chronic stressor. More passive strategies, just kind of waiting around for it to get better, turning to others for answers, or engaging in maladaptive strategies like drinking too much, eating too much, or numbing out on too much social media or television, we aren't going to do as well.
Well, here are some active coping strategies they suggest. Set some goals you'd like to accomplish during this time. Set a schedule. Routine helps provide normalcy during unpredictable times. Practice self-care, getting good sleep, eating healthy foods, and exercising regularly, and stay socially connected with others. There's been a lot of attention placed on the lack of toilet paper in stores during the pandemic, but there's another essential item that has been hard to gain access to as well: pads and tampons. A Reuters health study estimates that 1 in 5 women can't afford these products even when we aren't in a pandemic. And now it's much more difficult to find them. Jamie Perez shows us how one local group is helping solve that issue. Jamie?
So this is even more of a problem now as more and more people are out of work. The people who once relied on their place of work or a public building to gain access to these products no longer have that luxury.
It's often something that goes ignored in our mainstream conversations because of the stigma that surrounds menstruation.
There's been a lot on our minds during this pandemic, but access to period products hasn't been one of the main things talked about.
And it's assumed that there isn't an issue because it's not being brought to the table. It's so ingrained in the American psyche that you do not talk about menstruation unless you are asking a friend in a whisper, hey, do you have a tampon?
For this group, who started the Tampon Task Force and a movement called Bleed Shamelessly, it's been their top priority to fight the stigma and give people access to these essential hygiene products.
That's a huge issue. So basically, we just launched this campaign, which is
allocating all of our resources and funds and energy towards providing free menstrual products to people who need them in the Dane County community.
They've started a GoFundMe, and so far they've raised about $4 grand. All of the money being used to make period kits that they're distributing each month to shelters, food banks, and community members here in Dane County.
Period products are some of the least donated products to shelters, even though they're some of the most demanded items.
They've donated about 1,100 kits so far.
Need for organizations like Bleed Shamelessly and others across the United States to provide these products and ensure that menstruators aren't forced to choose between buying food and also buying period products.
In a pandemic where people are losing money, can't find products in stores, and when you're dealing with a product that no government program covers.
It just helped me realize that we need to take action, because if we don't, then who else will?
And they said that they will continue to make and distribute these period kits for as long as the pandemic lasts, or as long as money keeps getting donated. If you would like to help them out, I have a link to their GoFundMe on channel3000.com.
Jamie Perez reporting live tonight. Jamie, thank you. A federal appeals court has struck down a lower court's ruling in favor of brewing giant Molson Coors. They determined Anheuser-Busch can advertise and use packaging implying that its rival beers contain corn syrup. The three-judge panel ruling overturns a federal judge's ruling from September here in Wisconsin. It says, quote, if Molson Coors does not like the sneering tone of Anheuser-Busch's ads, it can mock Bud Light in return. Coming up in sports, the city of Madison launching an ad campaign this weekend encouraging people to follow social distancing guidelines at local parks. Zach Hanley explains how a Badger assistant coach, a former Badger great, is getting involved. And temperatures could reach highs in the 70s this weekend. Gary will detail it all for us in his First Warn forecast. That's next.
No one asked for this to happen, but this is our time, when our hearts, our humanity, and our communities rise. This moment will challenge us. It will define us. It's why we are here, but this moment is not bigger than us. And we will show up every day for you. Unity Point Health Meritor, a partner of UW Health. Know how much you matter to this world.
Toro's Time Cutter HD and Titan HD zero-turn mowers. Comfortable with the innovative MyRide suspension system and high-back suspension seats. Powerful with commercial-grade engines. Heavy-duty, built to tackle tough terrain while providing Toro's professional quality of cut. Versatile, so you can get more done on or off the mower. Toro's Time Cutter HD and Titan HD zero-turn mowers. Count on it.
Power Centers of Madison. Visit powercentersofmadison.com.
Help is what we've always given. So thank you to our helpers at BMO and beyond. Thank you to the healers, the fighters, the all-nighters, the cleaners, the movers, the 18-wheelers. Thank you to the farmers, the grocers, the above and beyonders. Thank you to all the frontliners for keeping our lives moving when the world needs to stop.
Together makes us stronger, and Ford is built to lend a hand. Contact your Ford dealer, an essential part of your community, to find out more about home delivery and other vehicle service options. After all, you have a lot to take care of. Let us help take care of you. Find out more at Ford.com. Right now, qualified buyers can get 0% financing for 72 months, plus 3 months deferred payments on select 2020 Ford models.
We started out today with some sunshine, then we had a period of clouds this afternoon and even a few showers, but those have really diminished as they've pushed east of Madison. You can see they're fizzling out as they head toward Lake Michigan and into the northern part of the lake, but right now I think the chances for any more showers are going to be very slim for the rest of the evening hours. To the west, no rain right now. There are a few clouds trying to build up over parts of southern Minnesota, but for the most part, you can see skies have been clearing. That's actually allowed temperatures to jump back into the lower 70s over southwestern Wisconsin. This is actually a surge of warmer air that's heading eastward that has caused temperatures over parts of Minnesota to get into the 80s this afternoon. So 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Look for a mild weekend. High temperatures, lower 70s for both tomorrow and for Sunday. But just as quickly, the mild weather goes away early next week. We start below normal temperatures on Monday, and they should probably last through the rest of next week and into much of the following week, unfortunately. And there'll also be some shower chances. One will be from Monday afternoon into Tuesday and early Wednesday. Another one from later Thursday into early Friday, and another for the following weekend. As we look at weather track, the jet stream is flattened out across the Pacific Ocean, so we're not seeing the big waves that cause storm systems. And so for the most part, these weather systems that are coming through are pretty weak. And for the most part, the jet stream will eventually start to dive more toward the southeast as cooler weather sets up in the northern part of the United States by the early part of next week, and the warmer weather shifts out west. So right now, we have a west or west-southwesterly wind flow here. That's going to bring us the warmer air for the next couple of days, but after that, we'll see that pattern change to a cooler, somewhat showery pattern, but for the most part, not a lot of precipitation. On weather track, there's actually a weak cold front. It's more of a wind shift line than anything else, but out ahead of it, there's a warm front. And in this little narrow area here, there's an area where the temperatures have really warmed up. 80s are into parts of southwestern Minnesota, and temperatures are around 90, or have been in the 90s over western Kansas. Now, as we look at future track, you can see those clouds clearing out overnight. Tomorrow, we'll see variably cloudy skies, a little more cloud cover in the afternoon, high temperatures in the lower 70s. Tomorrow night, we'll see clear to partly cloudy skies, and Sunday, we'll see plenty of sunshine. Even though winds be out of the north and northwest, high temperatures will still top out in the lower 70s. As we check out our forecast for tomorrow, look for skies to be variably cloudy, a high temperature topping out at 71 degrees, even though we'll see a wind shift to the west-northwest at 8 to 15 miles per hour. Those winds that stayed out of the south, we'd probably be looking at temperatures in the middle 70s for tomorrow. 7 to 10 day forecast, sunny skies, 71 on Sunday, but then the cooler weather arrives. Showers develop on Monday afternoon with a high of 59, upper 50s for Tuesday, and around 60 on Wednesday as the showers come to an end Wednesday morning. Next batch of showers from Thursday afternoon into Friday morning, and another chance of showers for next weekend. Those high temperatures, though, about 5 to almost 10 degrees below normal.
And coming up in sports, we check in with the new number 28 for the Colts. Why Jonathan Taylor is, in a word, excited about his new home in Indy. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Social distancing and family quarantines are a jarring reality for kids. It's a big adjustment, so it's important that we adults do what we can to help them navigate this new normal. Encourage your kids to ask questions and give them honest, age-appropriate answers. Show them things that they can do to regain some control. And above all, reassure them that their safety is your top priority.
Now more than ever, SSM Health and News 3 Now encourage you to take time for kids.
Yeah, I'm a professional remodeler, and I go to Nuns. Why? Well, my clients love them because they have all those snazzy-looking countertops. You know, like beautiful marble countertops, stunning quartz slabs, you name it. To be honest, I don't see what the big deal is. I mean, who needs all that glitz and glamour from a counter? But my clients love those snazzy-looking countertops, so we go to Nuns.
Nuns, kitchen, bath, and flooring.
It's time to gear up for spring with help from your neighbors at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. We have great deals on everything you need to get your yard looking its best, like large bags of estate lawn fertilizer, just $19.99. Get $100 off this Cub Cadet Hydro Lawn Tractor. Power up yard equipment with this Yellow Jacket extension cord, $34.99. Save $50 on this DeWalt air compressor. Plus, buy online and pick up your items in our convenient drive-thru.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Creating family memories is what Maple Leaf Landscaping is all about.
We design and build outdoor spaces that bring people together. Landscaped spaces for any size family. Functional, beautiful, a place everyone will enjoy. And it all starts with a free visit at your home by one of our landscape experts. So call Maple Leaf Landscaping today and have us create an outdoor living space for your home.
70s are in the forecast this weekend. If you're packing up the family and heading to one of the newly reopened state parks or campgrounds, we'll share a few things to know before you go. Join us for all of your news and weather at 5 and 8 Saturday.
Southern Wisconsin is a vibrant, diverse community with great stories to tell. And I'm looking forward to bringing them to you during my favorite time of day, morning. I'm Chris Stanford, and I'm excited to be joining the News 3 Now morning team.
It's been 1 week since dreams became a reality for Jonathan Taylor. The former Badger running back was taken in the second round, 41st overall by the Colts in last week's NFL draft. That night, JT said Indianapolis is like the Wisconsin of the NFL. Same philosophy, same culture, so it's a perfect fit for him. And now actually having a team and knowing who he's playing for is pretty exciting for Taylor.
Like now when you're working out and you're training, you know that it's not just for, the combine or pro day. Now you're getting ready for a season again. You have your team. So it's exciting. It's exciting now because that's all you think about now and can't wait to start learning everything you need to learn. And you're just ready to dive in.
The Packers have beefed up their D-line a little bit with the addition of 6'2", 304-pound Trayvon Hester. In 3 years in the league, he's played for 3 teams, the Raiders, Eagles, and Redskins. And his most famous play was when he was in Philly. Hester was the man who tipped Cody Parkey's double-doink field goal in the playoffs. In his first year as an assistant coach for the Badger men, Wisconsin won to share the Big Ten title. Coincidence? Well, maybe. And since the season ended, Coach Alando Tucker has been drawing up a game plan to get things back to normal. And he's asking for your help.
I know we're all missing sports like crazy right now. But in order for sports to return, we gotta be smart and we have to remain safe. Now that doesn't mean we still can't be fit. We can go to our local or community parks and we can walk, we can run, we can bike, but we cannot be playing games or contact sports like basketball, soccer, and or football. We will and we can get through this, but we all must do our part.
And speaking of Wisconsin basketball, we knew the Badger men were going to play in the 2021 Maui Invitational. We just didn't know who else was coming to Hawaii with them. That's been answered. Joining the Badgers, Butler, Houston, Notre Dame, Oregon, Texas A&M, St. Mary's, and Chaminade. This will be Wisconsin's 4th appearance in the tourney, first since 2016 when they fell to North Carolina in the finals. And how cool is this? Ford Madison FC is selling tickets for their match for Madison. Their opponent, obviously COVID-19. And by purchasing a $10 ticket, you'll support local restaurants and local healthcare workers at the same time, because each ticket provides a meal from a local restaurant to a local healthcare worker. How about that?
That's great. And are you trying to get maybe a trip to Maui? Cover that next year?
I am. I thought you were coming with me.
Well, I think they're only sending me. It's got to be here a few more years, then they'll let you go. Gary Canalti?
Maybe I'll get rid of both of you.
One of those holiday vacations with Canalti to see the Badgers
sure, it's
play.
supposed to go in October, so who knows. But still, we've got to get past some cooler weather for next week. Right now, the live view of the Quebe Radio Sky Cam showing a little more cloud cover over southwestern Wisconsin, but no precipitation, so should be a quiet night.
All right, Gary, thanks a lot. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6. We'll see you back here tonight at 10. Have a good evening.